Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Catherine and it is Designer December Day 20. Oh my gosh, so Christmas has been and gone. I hope you had a nice Christmas. We are going to continue with Designer December until we reach Day 24. So it's Day 20 today. We've got 4 more updates to go. Whoa! Basically, the updates have got bigger and bigger as we keep adding more images, more tools to this. I hope you're having fun with them. I hope you're enjoying what we've added so far. So a few questions you guys have been asking. First one is, what's tangent templates? Well, tangent templates is a collection of tools. Primarily, we design them to be used with KDP, with Amazon's KDP service. But you can actually use them for any physical book platform. So things like Lulu or Ingram, you probably use these templates with those services as well. Just be careful of trim sizes because they do vary. We've created this specifically with Amazon's trim sizes in mind. Tangent templates include several tools. There's all the standard interiors. There's well over 100 interiors. We have all the education, mindfulness, paper games. You know, we were the first to put in paper games, and now I see so many people selling paper games templates. You saw it here first. So we've got over 100 templates. We have the dynamic templates, which includes prompts, planners, and those are customizable. So you can put dates on the planners, and you can put your own prompts in there. We also have the interior designer, which I'll get to in a moment because that's what we're focusing on with Designer December. We have the Tangent Builder tool, which allows you to upload PDF pages. So you can upload your own PDF pages that you've designed in any tool, in Keynote, Affinity, wherever you design them. And you can mix and match them with our designs. So you can select our designs here. If you wanted to do like a fashion page, you could do that, and then you can add in your own pages. And we've got some really nice features on this. You can drag and drop the pages around and create all kinds of books just by building them in the Tangent Builder. So that tool's really for assembling your book. We have the KDP helper, and honestly guys, I use this all the time, especially if I'm working with Canva or with another tool like that. The KDP helper is great because it will give you the dimensions. So you just choose your trim size, your page count, paper type and bleed. You choose those dimensions and it will give you all the dimensions you need, a cover template, everything you need for whichever tool you're working in. So you can download this template and you can bring it into Canva, Affinity, Keynote, whatever you're using. And also it gives you all the dimensions. So here you go. If you're making a cover on Canva, it tells you the dimensions you need to enter in Canva in inches and in pixels. Gives you dimensions for Keynote, which can be a pain because that's in points, and of course Adobe. So that's the cover information. It also gives you all the interior information you need and a basic template for working with any of those tools. So loads of goodies in the KDP helper. I use this a lot. I think it's a really useful tool. We also have the listing helper, and the listing helper lets you basically save templates of your listings. So you put the title, subtitle, description, keywords, all of this stuff, and you can save it and then you can copy it across to KDP using our extension. So we have a little extension, plugs into the browser and lets you copy this information across to KDP. So if you're making a lot of books that have a lot of similar keywords or similar information in them, this makes it really quick to put that information into KDP. We have the Category Explorer. This is just a great tool that lets you browse through KDP's categories, figure out the best category for your particular book. And we also have categories by keywords because some categories are hidden and actually can only be accessed by using particular keywords. So if you use that keyword like graphic novels, hopefully your category will be put into that category. However, KDP do put books into whichever category they feel like. So what you're doing really, when you give KDP a category, you're kind of giving them a suggestion and they're going to put your book where they feel it fits. So that's the Category Explorer. We have a pricing calculator. This is just a really easy to use way of pricing your book. So you put in whether it's a black and white or color book, put in the page count and put in how much you would like to sell your book for, hit calculate, and it will tell you the printing costs and the royalties for your book. And then under more tools, we just have a ton of goodies. The PDF Inspector does a couple of things. It's actually a really, really powerful tool. The PDF Inspector allows you to look at any PDF file, whether it's created with tangent templates or with your own files, which is actually probably more useful. If you have a problem with a PDF, like one of your PDFs that you've made and you've uploaded it to Amazon, it's not working, you can actually look at it in the PDF Inspector to make sure that everything's okay. It gives you a lot of information about that PDF. Also, the PDF Inspector allows you to convert a PDF to PNGs. Now, I know that's a lot of acronyms and words, but basically if you're using a tool like Canva, Canva only accepts PNG files. It doesn't accept PDFs. So if you want to edit templates in Canva, then convert them to PNGs using this tool. So you put your PDF in, convert it to PNGs, and then you can bring those PNGs into Canva to edit them. We have the reverse of that, which is an image converter. So if you have a bunch of PNG files or image files, the image converter will actually convert those all into a PDF that's ready for KDP. This is great if you're making coloring books, photo books, you have a bunch of images on your hard drive. You can just put them into here and it will create a PDF all ready to be uploaded to KDP. We also have a bunch of other tools. There's the DPI calculator, which will check your image size. You have pen name generator, which is really fun. The pen name generator lets you pick a name which is appropriate for your type of book. We have the mockup tool, which lets you make a 3D mockup that you can share in various places. And then, of course, there's the test check, trademark checker, cover panels, and even an interior reference chart that just gives you an overview of KDP's trim sizes. So you have a bunch of tools in tangent templates. The second question people ask me is, where can I get tangent templates? Well, you can get it from templates.tangent.rocks. It's a one-off price of $59. And if you message me on Facebook or you send me an email, support@tangent.rocks, I can give you a promo code for $10 off, which will bring the price down to $49. A one-off payment, no subscription. It is a bargain. Cool, so that's how you can get tangent templates and where you can find it and what it is. So let's move on and take a look at day 20. So day 20 is magic. Let's have a look at it. So we've added 5 folders today, 5 folders of images. People are asking me, where can I find these images? Well, they're in the Interior Designer. So tangent templates, once you're logged in, go to Interior Designer, and you're going to choose the trim size of your book. So this is just basically what size your book is, the bleed, and the page count. So the page count determines the margins. So for our book, we're just working under 150 pages. So here's our page all ready to design. As I said, we've added 5 folders, and these are Lunar Phases, which I just love. These like moons. And they're so pretty. I like these moons. So we've got round moons, we've got lines of moons, and we have lots of individual moons. And I've actually made a few designs with these moons here. So you can see them on here. I made a whole lunar calendar. And the way I made this, so I put the little moons on. So I put those all on individually. And I used a calendar from the images folder, calendars, which is there we go. We are going to look at reorganizing these a bit in the new year, just to make it a little bit easier to find images, because we know we've just been adding the folders. We're going to have another look at this and see if there's an easier way to access the images, but for now they're here. So I used the calendar from images calendars and I added in the moons, and I did that just, if you want to know how to add a bunch of things to a page, this is what I do. So I'm going to add a page, and I'm going to go to images, and I'm going to grab some moons. So I'm going to just copy my moons in there. I'm just clicking to add them all to the page. There we go. They're all kind of stacking up there. And then what I do is I select them all and I'm resizing them. You can also do the make equal width there. That will size them all to the same size. And then this is really cool. So I'm going to put them up there, and I do stack elements top to bottom. Boom, there they are. And if they're too close together, what you can do is move one there. And I kind of consider this like This element here is the start point. This one's the end point. So make sure you've got your start and end points in place. And then you can put these elements can be anywhere you want. But if you want to stack them up, this is how you align them. So we're going to do align horizontal like that. And you can see these aren't evenly spaced. So we're just going to do distribute space evenly. And that's how you can lay out a bunch of images very quickly. So you can use those stack tools, distribute tools, and alignment so that you end up with nice, neat lines of images like that. And I do this quite often to align checkboxes and checklists, or to make sort of decorative lines and borders with several images. So we've tried to make it really easy for you to be able to lay things out nicely. Let's look at the rest of the images. We've looked at lunar phases, and these are great in New Age journals, astrology, tarot, witchcraft, spells, anything like that. People love seeing the lunar phases. And the great thing with these on a calendar is that you can make these really tiny. You can put these on regular calendars, especially if your calendar has a sort of spiritual element to it. Adding lunar phases can just be a really nice touch to it. So there you go. That's how you can add lunar phases to a calendar. We have also added astrology symbols. So let's have a look at these astrology symbols. I'm going to go back to my pages and let's take a look at this page here. So this is really maybe the flyleaf or the inside page of an astrology notebook. So I was just talking about aligning images. So I did exactly that with these images here. I just put them on the page, stacked them left to right, and distributed and resized them. So they look really nice there. You can use them as a little border like that. And for this image, what I did was I actually added the astrology symbols individually. And this image I got from the infographics, which I used the other day, which are... We're going to scroll down a bit. We've been adding a lot. There it is. The infographics. And we used... Which image did we use? It was this one here. So I used that image to create this design. This is kind of a nice demonstration of how you can use these infographics to make some really pretty decorative elements for your books. So, as I say, this could be sort of the inside page of an astrology journal. I actually copied that little image that I made and resized it down here to make like a smaller sort of symbol there. And that would look really cool actually on the top of your pages. That would look pretty neat if you pasted that onto the corner of each of your journal pages. Or again, whatever you come up with. I mean, I'm trying to give you sort of some ideas, share some of my ideas, and I'm sure you have many, many, many more ideas of how you can combine these elements. But there we go. So this could be an astrology journal. I kind of created this for Isaac and me because I'm a Leo and he's a Sagittarius. And I just figured out we're both fire signs, which explains a lot. But this was just a little concept I was working on of making journals for couples. So I could put his information in here. I could put my information in here. These wheels we have included with the astrology symbols. There's a couple of ways that people use these. So let me make a new page for this and I'll show you the wheels. We added these wheels to astrology because there's really two primary ways that people use them. The first is they use them to represent the different astrological symbols, which there are 12. So you can grab the symbols here and you could put these into the wheel like this and use that for whatever purpose you want to use it for. We have different styles of wheel actually, so if I move this over there, let's have a look at a different one. Yeah, we also have like this kind of wheel here. So this would be really nice if you wanted to put the symbols in. Let's make it small so we can pop it in there. This would be really fun if you wanted to put all the symbols around the outside and then put something about those symbols, like maybe a personality trait or a prediction or whatever you want to put in here or your users want to put in here. I mean, it'd be great if they are astrologers and want to write some notes on the different star signs. Oh, if you have a problem grabbing an element like that, all you do is grab the big element that's hiding it and just do center back. So now I can grab that little element there. So that's one way of using them. Another way people like to use these is they represent the houses of a particular star sign. So if you're making a journal for someone who is a particular star sign, like a Leo or a Sagittarius, you might want to use this design to look at the houses that are involved. Now, I am not an astrologer. My understanding is that there are houses connected to a particular star sign, and there are 12 of them. And the houses basically represent the different elements of your life that the astrology influences. So you have like love, money, health, and so on. I don't know what the other ones are, but you can go and look it up, do some research if you're interested in creating astrology journals, and you can put the houses of a particular star sign into these designs as well. So that's pretty much how I use them here. So you can put the information for a particular star sign right there in these wheels. So hopefully you have all the elements there to create some really beautiful astrology journals. So we've included all of the 12 zodiac signs. We have also added the planet signs. I know a lot of people like to use the planet symbols as well. So you've got a whole bunch of really cool signs here. And of course you can just use these for decoration. Something like this sign, you have a lot of flexibility, because you can make it really small and use it as an icon like this. There we go. You can make it really, really tiny. You can put it in a circle or a box. We have circles. You can alter the thickness of a circle. So you can do something like that and make these really cool looking icons. You can even get really creative with this. And I mean, we can make this white and we could fill the circle with black. And you can make things that look like that. So you can get really, really creative with these designs. And as I say, you can use them as an icon, or you can make it sort of light grey and make it super big and have it as a watermark on your page. So this would be really nice if you were doing like a spell journal, because if you want to add writing paper, you can just select other space and fill with lines like that. And boom, you've made really pretty writing paper. And of course we could take away some lines like that and add in another symbol. Let's do Libra at the bottom. We can make that really small at the bottom and take away that line. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just creating really pretty writing paper using these symbols. So you have a lot of flexibility with them. They can be tiny, they can be huge, and of course you can choose any shade for them. So they really look quite different whether you make them sort of black or light grey. You can use them very differently. So let's take a look at the rest of the images. So I've shown you lunar phases and astrology. Now we have also added tarot, and we have gone tarot crazy with this. One thing we have given you is tarot spreads. Now these are just awesome. So tarot spreads, people use them in several different ways. Basically, when you're dealing tarot cards, you put them in a formation. Now some people just want to do one card at a time, and daily draws are super popular. In fact, this page was just a really simple one I was working on for daily draws. And a daily draw is you just draw one tarot card, you have questions in your mind as you draw it, and then you look at that card and you consider what that card means in the context of the questions you're asking. So with a design like this, you could write down the card that you drew here, the deck you were using, the questions you were asking, and then you can write your interpretation. And I've kind of left some space on this card, so if you want to draw something, add some extra notes, make a quick scribble to yourself, you can totally do that. And on this page, I've made it so you could draw 2 cards in a day if you want to do one in the morning and the evening. I've put a date there, but of course, if you want to have a journal where you have 2 days on a page, you could just add another date there. So that's a really simple way of doing a daily draw journal. You can play with this design, you can do all kinds of things with it. What I did with these cards is I added this little image to them. We designed the cards in mind so that you can customize them like this. So in fact, if I show you another page, we go to tarot spreads, you have the plain cards here. So you can add a card, and these do have the ratio of standard tarot cards. So they are designed. I know they look kind of long compared with like playing cards, but these are designed to be the ratio of tarot cards. And the great thing is you can add images to these. And as well as the tarot, we have also added some magic elements. And these are really fun. These work really well to decorate these cards. So for example, I have this really pretty like goddess image. So you could always put that on a card. You can make it really faint like that. If you just want it to look like a sort of watermark on the card, you can do something like that. I made another tarot page here. And what I did with this one was I used a larger spread. And this is like a weekly spread. This is more complex. So I picked this particular spread and then I added numbers to it. So you can see these are just text boxes that I added to it and aligned in the center. And I numbered these so that people could then, if they're using this, in fact, I'm going to align that right now. Make the text aligned. And then I put the numbers down here. So what you would do is just write down what the cards were, and then you could put your questions and interpretations. And I think with a page like this, I would then include a second page that just has a lot more space to write notes, because obviously with 9 cards, you're probably going to have a lot of thoughts, a lot of interpretations. So I would probably add some more pages after this so that people can write further interpretations. I also included a little calendar checklist here. And again, this came from, we have 2 folders of calendars. So we have the calendars here, which is pretty much the monthly calendars. And then we have tables, which includes a whole bunch of like weekly checklists, schedules, things like that. And I just grabbed it from this one, from tables. And the cool thing with this is that if you were drawing tarot cards every day, you could scribble in here what those cards were. And the way you know, and this is something that's become really, really popular in tarot journaling, is using a type of shorthand to write down the names of cards. And we've actually included that in Tangent templates now. So what we've done, we included a tarot journal key. So what a lot of people who are doing bullet journals and other tarot journals are doing is they use little symbols that they can just write in every day or on their calendar very quickly to show what card they've drawn on a particular day or at a particular time. And these symbols are really shorthand for different cards. So in tarot, you have the major arcana, which are these cards. So there's, I don't know how many of them there are. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 22 of the major arcana cards. And these are all written down here. So those are things, the Fool, the Magician, and so on. You also have the minor arcana, which if you're used to sort of playing cards, these are more similar to playing cards. You have the 4 suits here. You have the wands, cups, knives, coins. Some people call them pentacles. And these are numbered. So if you're going to write about these in your journal, what you could do is just put like a 4 and then the cross sign. So that would denote the 4 of wands and so on. So these are really good to use with tables and checklists in your book. And what we've done is we've actually given you this whole key as one image. So you can just plonk that at the beginning of your tarot journal and then include whatever kind of calendar tables you want to, and people can just write in the symbols for their cards as they draw them each day. We've also separated those out a bit if you don't want to use them all or you want to change your design. And I'll show you how that works. So if we go to the tarot symbols, you'll see that what we've done is we've given you all the individual tarot symbols, which are just really useful. You can use these for all kinds of things, decoratively, or you can put them in journals. You can make your own tarot guidebook. Like there's all kinds of things you can do with these. And we've included the indexes here. So that's the one you just saw. We've put that one in. We also have a straight list like that. So this is all the major arcana in one list. We've put the minor arcana also. Those are in a little list there. You can see we've just separated those out. Oh, and we have all the images as well. So you need to shrink this down. It takes a little bit of shrinking to get it to fit on the page, but it will. There we go. So we also have all of the symbols here. So you can put these on your page. They make great borders. Just really fun to use in your designs. So that's another thing you can do. Oh, the other thing I should tell you about tarot journaling is that if you're using this shorthand and you're using these symbols, if people draw a card reversed, then what they like to do is put a line underneath it. So that's another way of denoting which card you drew. So you would take, for example, I don't know, if you want to say you drew the 4 of coins, you could get the coin, you can put a 4 in front of it. We're going to make this small. Okay, so that's the 4 of pentacles, and we're going to put a line underneath to show that that card was drawn upside down. So there you go. That's one way to use these symbols, but other people are going to use them how they want. It's your journal. You get to tell people how they use these symbols. I did quite a bit of research to design these. What I found was there aren't really standard tarot symbols. So I looked at a whole bunch of different ways that people do these symbols in bullet journals, in other planners. And I kind of came up with a method that I felt made sense and symbols that I felt would be easy to draw in a journal. So these were the symbols that we came up with and created our key with. So I hope you have a lot of fun with those. Those are the tarot symbols. As I say, you can do all kinds of different designs with these spreads. So we included so many spreads. You can have like a whole book with different types of spread. So what you could do is make several pages with one particular spread and then several pages with another type. You can put several types of spread on one page. Like there's a lot of ways you can use these. And people get really creative with tarot spreads. So there are some that are really well known. I think this one, for example, is called the Celtic Cross. But there are other designs. Some people just custom make their tarot spreads or come up with something that makes sense to them. And often what they'll do is they'll put out several cards and say, well, okay, this card represents me. This card represents love, this card represents my family, or whatever they want them to represent. And they'll do readings for several different things and how those things connect to each other. So you can do your research, get into tarot, and enjoy using these spreads, especially combined with the tarot images and with the calendars to create all kinds of designs. I think that's pretty much what we have. Oh, I also made a seance log. Now, everyone gets mad at me when I mention Ouija boards. So if you are not into Ouija boards, you can stop the video now and come back tomorrow for day 21. I thought this was kind of a fun idea as well, to do something like a seance log and keep track of who you contacted if you're into seances and speaking with people on the other side. I kind of don't believe anything just because I've been to a lot of estate sales and brought a lot of very random evil dolls and things into my house. And touch wood, I'm still here. But you can get really creative with these. The magic elements, I think, will let you really add some interesting things to your pages. If you go to images, magic elements, you can see we've got all kinds of sort of flourishes here. We've got a little cauldron, little goddess signs. So if you're making books for witches, you're making spell books, you can use these. I love this eye. I think the eye looks really, really cool. So that's another fun design there. So yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun using these. I hope you come up with some really creative designs. We enjoyed making this. We will be back tomorrow with day 21. Don't forget to join the Facebook group. And again, if you haven't got tangent templates, feel free to message me and I will give you a promo code. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.